If I could sum up the majority of my 20s, it would be one word: out of control. Actually, let me tell you a story and then you can be the judge of if I was out of control or not. And after this, you'll realise why I went sober. Years ago, I had an argument with my ex-partner. We was driving, well, I was drink driving, and that argument led into me just spiraling out of control. I end up punching my hand through all of the windscreen. I end up pulling down, I think it's called the weird rear view mirror. I was actually driving and I put the window down and kicked my windscreen wiper off, and I just got out of the car and started punching, kicking and smashing my car to pieces. Yes, I did actually later have to pay for this, right? But this is just the start of the story. After this, I dropped her home and I drove immediately to the 24-hour Tesco. I picked up a suitcase, I went back to my flat and I started to chuck everything in my suitcase. And I'm talking everything, like fucking more than I ever needed, because I didn't know what I was doing or how long I was going for. I got on my phone and I booked a flight to Magaluf. And at that time, I was using this guy. His name is Ali and he used to drive us around all of the time. I rung him, he come picked me up and he took me to the airport. On the way to the airport, I'm drinking, I'm sniffing, I'm doing balloons, so on and so forth. I then get into the airport. I still go to the toilet to finish up a couple of balloons and a little bit of gear. And then I go to the checkout. They say to me that my flight is in a couple of hours, but I was so desperate that I end up just booking another flight to jump straight on the plane. And as I'm on the plane, I'm still cracking on by myself, just talking to random strangers. Now you might be thinking, why did I go to Magaluf? The reason why I went Magaluf is because a couple of months before I was speaking to someone, he was a friend at the time, and he said to me, I'm going Magaluf for the season, you can stay anytime. Now in my head, I just took that for what it is. So when I landed there, I phoned him and I said, mate, where are you? And he was actually just in the hospital because he had some trouble the night before. And he's like, I'm in hospital in Magaluf. He's like, where are you? I was like, I'm here, mate. And he's like, what do you mean here? I said, I'm in Magaluf. You said that I can stay anytime. Obviously, he was thinking, what the fuck's going on? But he put me up for a couple of days. And then over that next couple of days, I just went on a mental bender from Friday till Sunday, cracking on the whole weekend. And then following up, I think it was the Monday morning, I end up just doing another last minute flight. I booked another last minute flight from the back of going out all night, went to the airport, was just laying in the airport, absolutely dead, and actually was just sitting on the plane on the way home in between two like old women just talking to me about their grandson. Put it this way, my ex-partner weren't best pleased, but that was a fucking spiraling story where I went from having an argument on a Friday morning to going Magaluf for the weekend, cracking on the whole weekend, and then just coming back to face up and deal with my smashed car and all of the consequences. Guess what? This still didn't even push me to go sober. I didn't actually make that committed decision for another 3 years after this. As I look back now, I can laugh at all of these stories, right? But at the time, all what I thought was fun turned out to not to be so much fun. It got to a point where every single weekend I'd be sitting up by myself, drinking and doing drugs, and end up contemplating my life. But thankfully, I hit rock bottom and I decided that I did need to quit. And in 1 month's time, I'll be 5 years sober. Now, not everyone needs to go sober. Some people might just want to cut it down. But why I'm making this is because it was the needed for me in my life. And these are the key things that I've got out of being sober. One of the first benefits that going sober gave me was self-belief. I lacked any belief and confidence in the past. Don't get me wrong, I used to drink to give me some kind of self-confidence, but that was completely false. The reason that I lacked so much self-belief is because I always lied to myself. I'd say that I would start cutting down drink and not go out the weekend, and I'd go out. I'd say that I'd start looking after myself. I'd say I'd start doing all these positive things, and I never remained consistent with my word. And that just took a knock on my confidence and self-belief, and I never thought that I would amount to much in my life. By staying sober, it's enabled me to finally start keeping my word to myself. When I say I'm going to train, I'll train. When I say I'm going to study, I'll study. If I'm going to do something for myself on a weekend, I'll do something for myself. I always commit to my word, to align with my goals, to align with my purpose, to align with my family and what I value in life. And that gives me so much confidence, self-respect and belief in myself. When I was drinking and doing drugs, number one, I didn't even really have any goals. Or as I mentioned, anytime I try to set myself up to do something, I never hit it because I couldn't stay consistent or committed to it. But since going sober, I've been able to achieve some incredible things that I'm proud of.
I've become a high performance coach. I've become an NLP master teacher. I've been able to run a 100-mile ultra marathon. I've run a sub 3-hour marathon. I've done all of these different amazing accomplishments that I'm super proud of myself of. And in the past, number one, I didn't even believe that I could do anything like this. And number two, even if I set something, I would never be able to remain consistent with it. So anything that I had in my mind was just a wish. But since going sober, I've been able to turn my dreams to reality.
As you can see from the story earlier, I wasn't the best partner, and I hold my hands up, and I've done a lot of things that I regret, but I believe that hurt people, and that's the honest truth. But when I spent some time by myself, I was able to heal all of my past and all of the things that I'd done, and then that allowed me to become a better version of myself. By becoming a better version of myself, I was able to attract someone who was on the same path as me, a person I would have never tried to be in within the past because of who I was back then. I've now been in a relationship for 6 years and we have a beautiful daughter together. If I only gained these two things in my life and nothing else, going sober would have been worth it.
When I was drinking and doing drugs all the time, number one, I didn't have a stable career and I was doing things I wasn't proud of, but every single week was an escape for me. But as soon as I started to cut all of that down, I was able to start creating a life that I'm actually proud of and want to wake up for. And I'm able to now do things like go to Rome with my clients and do a half marathon. I go to Dubai to get paid to do public speaking workshops, and I spend all of my time doing whatever I want because I have a business that allows me to do that. All of this wasn't possible for me in the past because I was trying to escape my life rather than create it.
And number 5 is finally become someone that I'm proud of. As I've already mentioned, I was letting myself down so much, I just genuinely hated who I was as a person. I was hurting people, I was doing self-destructive things, but I do believe that hurt people. And that's the way that I lived my life for a very, very long time. But when I started to commit to going sober, I started to do that inner work. I started to change who I was as a person and actually start contributing to other people. I started to become proud of people. I failed at going sober, 6 times, but with every time that I failed, I come back stronger, and that also gave me strength that I am capable to do great things. And by doing that, it enabled me to become someone I'm proud of, achieve incredible goals, create a life that I want to wake up for, and just finally be proud of the man that I've become. And I believe that everyone at the end of every single day wants to look themselves in the mirror and just be proud of the person that they are. As you can see, and I'm sure you can agree with me right now, I was someone that was completely out of control. I was lost, I was confused, I was off purpose, and I was self-sabotaging my whole entire life. And I had no belief in myself. But I've been able to commit to going sober and drag myself from rock bottom to achieve some incredible things that I'm proud of. Now, not everyone might want to go sober. Maybe you're watching this and you think, you know what, maybe I just need to cut it down. That choice is yours. But it was the most respectful decision that I've ever made for myself, and it's generally completely changed my entire life. And I know that one thing that none of us want to do is get to the end of our life and look back in regret, knowing deep down we could have been so much more. And if this is you and you feel like drink or drugs is the only thing that's getting in your way of reaching your full potential, I think it's time that you make that respectful decision for yourself and commit to what's right for you.